I'm Meixin Yu. I usually go by May. I'm a current fourth year student at UVA, double majoring in cognitive science and drama.
Hi, I'm Mona Kasra. I'm Associate Professor of Digital Media Design here in Department of Drama.
It's interesting because I was encouraged to take on the role of projection designer first, and because I got to do like a previous projection progress or project with a previous grad student. Because of that, I had some like experience in doing it really in a theater. So I got to be asked, very fortunately, to apply what I learned from that project to this everybody projection. From the script, there is like a short one scene called the Danse Macabre, which involves dancing, but there is nothing written down for it, like no specification of how many people are engaged, if we're seeing it on a screen or in live, or if there is anybody dancing at all. So giving this open, encouraged by my teacher, Katie, who taught movement last semester, I got to take the chance to experiment with something new in theater, which is to have both live human being and digital characters perform in the theater in the form of dance together for a moment. It's the more I work on it, the more I feel like this is such a small part of the whole show, but working on it, it's also such a big task for me, because I'm trying to merge what I learned on both sides into one thing and try to make them still as engaging and possibly more engaging.
I acquired this motion capture suit a couple of years ago, and I've been like really itching to use it, and I know Dave really wanted to work with it. We did some workshop last year with some of the grad actors that we had here, and it felt like this would be a really great opportunity to use that for this, have the suit, have these choreographed short scenes in the suit captured, and then with the use of Maya technology, and one of my students actually in studio arts to map the skeleton onto these motion capture data and see where we can go with it. And May was ready to like kind of do this, and I'm excited to see how all of it comes together.
We have to consider the limitation, which is the short time of it, because it's so short, and also because the cast we have aren't very used to like perform in the form of dance. How do we incorporate them so that we can make efficient choices for this production? So do we want to invite like dancers to perform for 2 minutes, or do we just want to also like stay true to our cast, like let them do some simple things that can still keep some continuity of everything? So we decided to let the cast do it because it's only 2 minutes, and I was so confident I could teach them to move around. So that's the first layer of it. The second layer of it is why we have the skeleton, which are digital characters on the screen. That is because for a whole 2 minute, it sounds very short, but from the perspective audience, just watching live performers doing repetitive or too simple tasks could be actually contributing to a reverse effect to the whole show. So we still want to keep some technical aspect to dance that we can present to the audience for that short 2 minutes. So what we do is we possibly could use the whole projection screen that we were previously using in other scenes to put in some materials that we could pre-made and then show it during the production. And then that's the second layer. So we decided to have some moment, something being shown on the screen.
Motion capture technology was not as easy to access for the longest time. You had to go to studios, you had to go to closed rooms where you had, cameras and sensors and so on, and you were very limited to the space that was given to you, and very kind of complicated technology. Some of the newer suits and the one that we have allows you to be not tethered to the computer and just have be free to move around the space. And also it allows us to capture the data and the movement in any kind of space, as long as you have a computer and as long as the suit is registered by the computer. So really, as long as you have movement, and that's why dance and choreography are really great tools. But nowadays, as you know, in Hollywood movies, a lot of things get motion captured, right? Many things that we see and perceive actually as real, it's animated or it's composited to motion capture models.
Making sure that I'm wearing the right clothes underneath the suit so that my signal can be detected easily. The purpose of wearing more like skin-tight clothes underneath is because first, I am not supposed to wear the suit naked. So from that, we understand that electrodes don't need to be in contact with our skin actually to track the movement. The second reason why we have to wear that layer is, which is thin and skin tone, so that we can still have the suit stick to our skin-ish level pretty accurately, so that when we move, how the information or the data that the electrode detect is really based on the movement of our joint instead of like thicker clothes that we will be wearing. Yeah. And third, if I wear a too thick layer, I would get sweaty so easily.
So it really opens up possibilities for performance, because you can, in this case, we are animating, rendering, and then May is going to work as a video with this, projecting it within the live performance. But you can do a lot with it. You can do a lot with, having characters that kind of your movement embodies, a dinosaur moving, a bear moving, that kind of thing. So it's a very useful thing for actors, especially as a way for them to practice these different personas and different characters and animals and like shapes and objects. Like, how would you move as a column, right? Like, what do you need to do to make us believe that you're an object, So it's really exciting, and it's becoming the barriers are less and less as we move forward, because the technology is becoming easier.
Each, I would say like around upper arm, lower arms, upper thigh, and lower like calves, and around my feet and around my head, there will be like adjustable bands so that we can adjust the width of the suit and make it like suitable to my body shape. So after doing that, the tuning in of the suit, I am ready, and then we need to communicate with the software. So there is like a cord that connects me or the suit that is actually like contained within the suit. So the suit is connected to a cord, which is then connected to the computer. It's specifically the software on the computer, so it detects that. It's mostly if you imagine that we're using like a Bluetooth device. If it's detectable, when I'm like attached to the computer through the cord, the software can detect the suit. And once we have that done, I just need to stand in this very standard posture for the software to do calibration, which is to make sure that the figure that the software is presenting in their interface matches exactly to what what I'm doing in real life. And that calibration helps to match the movement in different parts of my body and then transport it into data when we export it later as FBX file.
I really would like to incorporate it within the class projects. Right now, I do mostly independent study with students who are interested in it. And it also is an area where you can collaborate very well. So if somebody's interested in acting, somebody's very interested in the programming, modeling, so on, it's really useful for that kind of space. But the goal is to make sure that we can have smaller classes that would be utilizing the technology. It's always a question of space because you know, as you came to one of our recording sessions, you know, the technology can be finicky, so you need to set it up, you need to make sure it's there so that you can use it for multiple times and not just move things around. So that would be my goal, and I'm hopeful that we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, I got to do it, I think, majorly because I took 3 or 2 classes. The first one is screen dance, taught by Kim. That is more like filmmaking. That taught me a lot of the editing skills. And then second one is projection making, which is also called video design, taught by Professor Mona Kasra. Those are more associated with the aspect of being able to put the video onto a projected screen through another software. And then the motion capture suite is owned by Professor Mona Kasra. So she has also experienced lending them to a few students who had academic interest in using them. So that's a very good resource if we want to explore more advanced technology. And another class, if we want to focus more on the movement side, obviously is like improvisation class, which could make us think outside the box of how we move and then present a skeleton dance on the screen.
I think everyone's doing a really incredible work, and I can't wait to see the show myself. And I'm just excited about being able to incorporate these type of technologies within our productions. And I hope that there would be other opportunities. So if there's anybody who's interested and just wants to explore it, have them please come to me, because there's always room to develop new projects and explore the possibilities of the technology.